Welcome to night number 129 of History Bedtime Stories in our pajamas in bed, and tonight's episode is brought to you by Buddy's Pizza. Tonight I want to take you back to the turn of the 1700s to the 1800s, and at the turn of this century, the city of Detroit gets a federal land office. It opens up in 1804, and it's sort of right on the corner of Jefferson and Randolph in downtown Detroit. And this land office is slowly but steadily selling land in Michigan. Now, this is federally owned land, and it's kind of a slow go. By 1825, there's only 2 million acres that have been sold. And 2 million acres sounds like a ton of land, but it was less than 1/90th of what was available. You had some big landowners, guys like Territorial Governor Lewis Cass, who under the requirement of being Territorial Governor had to own a minimum of 1,000 acres of the territory of Michigan's land. But then you also had sort of groups coming into Michigan and purchasing a little bit of land for personal farming, for building, and for their own homestead. By 1825, Congress at a federal level gives permission for the territory of Michigan to start selling off this land at a rock bottom price. $1.25 cash would buy you an acre. The little bit of a cog in the machine though was you had to buy a minimum of 80 acres. But 80 acres for $100 is like, in today's money, buying 80 acres of Michigan land for about $9,500. We're talking very, very cheap. And this beautifully coincides with the Erie Canal opening in 1825 and just waves and waves and waves of people coming to the city. At its peak in 1836, it was common for 500 people to immigrate to Detroit, to come and set up their home in Detroit every single day. The Detroit River was literally stacked with passenger ships, helping people relocate from the American East Coast and from all over the world to their new fortunes here in Michigan. And many of these people would find their way to that land office and make purchases of land. Almost 9 million acres of Michigan land is sold between 1804 and 1840. As people start settling that land, they start naming it. And let's be very clear, they weren't the first people on that land. That land had been owned and really settled by Native American tribes, which had inhabited Michigan for 6,000 years before Antoinette de la Motte Cadillac ever shows up, founding the city in 1701. So at this point, they have been here for millennia. But Lewis Cass, under the protection of the federal government, actually gets land treaties signed with many of the Native American tribes that allows for the white settlement and expansion of Michigan. As these settlers sort of take on chunks of land in what will become Southeast Michigan, they name them for places they've been. Birmingham, England, Royal Oak, Plymouth, Northville, Troy, Utica. As we talk about places like Berkeley and Redford, a lot of these names actually come from East Coast settlements where the current residents had sort of lived, been born, or immigrated to from other nations. We see a lot of English and Irish names here in the Metro Detroit area. Again, immigrating across the ocean, coming to America, finding their way to Detroit, purchasing land, building a community, and naming it for a place they came from. Birmingham and Plymouth are both great examples of them. If, in the comment section down below, you tell us about a Southeast Michigan city named by the founders from a city they came from before immigrating to Michigan, we'll enter you in a raffle to win a 1910 Visitors Bureau button remake. I love this. It's the Edgar Guest slogan, Detroit, where life's worth living. So in order to try to win one of those buttons, give us a city in the comment section below. While you're at it, give us a like, a share, wash your hands. We'll see you tomorrow night.